And welcome back to another episode of JP and the Beanstalk.
You bet. There's a great energy in the gym. Dare I say we look good.
Damn good.
Really, really good.
I've been told this
A
is
lot
my
of Ron Burgundy energy right here.
I've been told this is my good side. But then I don't have a bad
But
side.
there it is. There it is.
There it is.
Full circle. No bad side exists. That was always just a wild concept to me when I first heard, oh, no, that's my good side. Like, what?
Technically, it is a thing. There are people with disproportionate faces. Like one side is a lot more
I'm going to need to see some tangible examples of folks that are dramatically different from one side to the other.
Gary Busey.
That's no. So he's the same all sides. That doesn't count.
You've never seen like those.
He is shapes no matter which angle you're looking at that man.
It reminds me
It's
of
like saving Steve Buscemi.
Hey, Steve's great.
He is great. They're both very good at what they do. And they are not ever the male romantic interest for a reason. Sorry, guys.
Well, so it reminds me of the episode of The Office where they're trying to decide if that one woman is attractive or I can't remember what the argument is, hot or
hot or not hot.
Yes.
Yep.
But they do those like actress and actor scans of faces to like show symmetry, and then they're like, well, this is why so and so is like considered the most attractive person in Hollywood is because their face is perfectly symmetrical, something like that. Which is just whoever's wasting their time and feels like that needs to be a general thing for the public to know.
Yeah. I think it's one of those wonderfully subjective things.
How much money do you think he made or she made?
Yeah, don't quantify it. Don't try and like create this system for it because it allows for wildly unexpected entries into the arena. Like Pete Davidson. I was led to believe at one time that Pete was on the come up in that respect. And that's wild. But good for Pete at the same time. Like, I'm not hating on Pete. It's like he does not fit the stereotypical paradigm of what I think of if we're playing the hot, not hot game. But there you go. Good for Pete.
So
he overcame.
So one of my sister's mother-in-laws was talking to me at one time. She's like, I can't believe you don't have a girlfriend or whatever, that whole spiel. Ugh.
Always fun to hear.
Oh, great.
Always fun to hear.
I just told her, I was like, it's because I'm too pretty. Do you see some of the guys that are like popular right now? Pete Davidson's a fine example.
You're just a victim of your times.
I'm too pretty. This is the one time it's not paying off. It's the only thing I can think of. Well,
just give it a few years.
Only thing.
Things will cycle back to you. That's amazing.
At some point.
Amazing.
At some point. But anywho's, it's not about me. It's about us.
All of us here together. Super excited to be here with you all on this episode. We'll have another news roundup. And then, of course, we'll continue our trek through the MCU. On today's episode, we're finally at the Avengers. So excited to talk about this. So much to discuss, so much to just gloriously recap. And then, of course, we'll conclude with another classic JP and the Beans Top 5. Second one of 2026. Spoilers, we're looking ahead to what should be a real fun year. So without further ado, let's get into it. Beans, when last we spoke, there were thrice number of Avengers Doomsday teasers between our last pod and this pod. They've dropped one more. It featured Wakanda, Atlantis, and not a place, but a people group, the Fantastic Four.
Well, not just a people group, just one people.
Just one of the people.
Just one thing.
People group, 100%. Okay, so this was number 4. We see Shuri as Black Panther. We see Namor with what appears to be a very much lacking in water Atlantis. And, of course, our guy, Ben Grimm. A unique combination, of course, this is. What were your thoughts? What were your takeaways?
Yeah, it looks like he got Injustice Superman, if you will.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know that storyline, Superman, because Aquaman was not going to go along with the Justice League, he pretty much lifted all of Atlantis out and put it in the middle of the desert. And Aquaman's like, okay, we'll talk. Please put us back in the water.
Pretty good leverage.
So
Pretty good leverage.
That's what it looks like there.
Yep.
So Doom probably did some mystical things and just pulled them out. I'm not gonna lie to you though. It's like, meh, okay.
Yeah.
It's an odd. I mean, it semi makes sense, right? When you think about it on paper, like, oh, Namor is very much attached to the Fantastic Four throughout history. Black Panther and Namor already
very
have
intertwined.
Established
Same there.
history in the movies as along with comics as well. So the three of them working
and
together,
he's often connected with Doctor Doom.
correct. So they all go hand in hand in this situation. So it's not super crazy. Just okay.
Yeah,
we're here.
It was easily the weakest of the four trailers.
Yeah.
Easily.
And M'Baku is just now in charge of Wakanda.
Evidently.
Did I miss that in Wakanda Forever?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So that was just...
We're just there now.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm all for it. I love M'Baku, but it's just like, wait, hold on. That's how you're going to let us know that... Hold on. Shuri still gets to be Black Panther, but is no longer in charge of Wakanda. She just was like, nah, pass. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised that she passed. That's fine. But I was just like...
Yeah, a lot of questions to be answered there. I mean, again, these are barely minute-long teasers. We enjoyed Namor a great deal from Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I thought Shuri was great in that movie as well. We've already gone down that path many a time. And the Fantastic Four movie was solid. So the pieces are there. It was just, as a whole, compared to the other three teasers, functioning as a teaser, it left me quite underwhelmed. It's like, that you just showed me characters. It just did not drum up the same level of excitement that seeing Steve Rogers, right? Chris Evans as Cap, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, the X-Men, and listen, it's not any of those individual characters' fault, but it's probably just a reflection of the overall underwhelming nature of what we've had for the last few years. But that's what we're going for. We're going for the bounce back, right? That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
So it was there. It was there. We'll continue on. The other little key nugget that came out of the last couple of weeks was the rumored runtime of Avengers Doomsday.
Let me guess, an hour and a half. Hour and 15 minutes.
Imagine if they... Oh my gosh.
It's just everybody waving at the camera.
That'd be incredible. That'd be incredible. So I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings movies. All right. Those all came in at or beyond the crisp 3-hour mark. The extended editions, glorious, well beyond 3 hours. That's the kind of territory we're getting into here. 3 hours and 45 minutes is the rumored runtime.
Yeah, no pop for me.
Wow.
Or beverage.
Yep.
I'm going to be dry.
Hook up thy catheters or pray that you are given an intermission because, wow, buckle up. Plenty of time between now, January, and December, so I won't be surprised at all if that runtime gets squeezed a tick. However, I think it's safe to say we're going to definitely be in the 3-hour neck of the woods. What do you think?
Let's just hope it's not. Well, let's just hope it doesn't feel like it's 3 hours and 45 minutes. Right. So it's reasonable. I'm glad there's more. I am hoping there's an intermission for that because that is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But we're at the point now where we have so many characters and so many things going on that centralizing this story into anything shorter than 2.5 is not doing it justice, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
it's going to take time.
It is. It's going to take time. Let's just hope that there is no dull moment.
Oh, my. Yeah, for reference, Avengers Infinity War was 2.5 hours, just a shade under, and then Avengers Endgame was right around the 3-hour mark. So this would easily be the lengthiest of all the Avengers movies. And I can say, and I mean this as a compliment, Avengers Endgame did not feel short.
No.
It didn't feel like a drag, but it felt like the 3 hours. And again, I mean that in a positive connotation. It didn't rush. It was pretty deliberately paced. Obviously, there's plenty of fast-paced action moments, but it was.
But even in the
it was a legit 3 hours.
But even in the slow-paced moments with Endgame, you got your payoffs.
Totally.
Totally. Infinity War as a movie probably better than Endgame, but Endgame as a tip of the cap to the fans that have stuck with them. That is the ultimate fan service movie.
Yep.
Like, they somehow reference everything that led up to it.
Yep. And that takes time.
I look at this movie, and about half of what would be leading to this movie, I don't want to see. So you're not going to be able to rely on the fan service that you were so easily able to rely on for Endgame to work for that 3-hour mark. So you're going to have to really take the time to flesh this out, and the characters that you've picked to focus on, you better pick the right ones. And I think they will.
I do too. Yep. I do too. I guess the more that time passes, the more I think this is going to be as good as it can be. Whatever that means.
Well, the rumor I keep seeing about it, and this is the only thing I've seen that has anything to do with it, is that Sam Wilson and Cyclops get a lot of screen time together.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm first of all super happy that James Marsden gets screen time as Cyclops, because I feel like even in the X-Men trilogy, he
always
does not.
On the short new, always getting the short end of the stick.
I mean, that dude died right away in the third one. So.
Yep. And he had to compete with Hugh Jackman, which wasn't fair.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
We
do,
all get it.
But
We
at
all.
the same time, like, it's supposed to be a love triangle, and it felt like his side was just falling off.
James was, like you, just born in the wrong era of what's attractive. It's like, I'm sorry, it's the big muscular, Canadian guy. Sorry, James.
I'm muscular too. All right.
Not what it meant. Not what it meant.
But Marsden,
you just don't have claws. That's all that I'm saying.
Marsden,
the claws.
out of the two, probably the prettier one, because he doesn't have mutton chops and hair that curls up on the sides.
Yeah, I gotta imagine most of the runtime is going to be less about calling back in any truly deliberate way and more about trying to tell a new story. But when the cast is so flipping large, oh boy, do you have a lot of territory to cover. So,
yes, and let's hope
again, it's January.
Yep.
We've got a little ways to go. All right, continuing to move in the news portion, a little bit of Batman news. I wouldn't call this too revelatory, more of just clarification of James Gunn's overall posture towards the DCU and towards Batman, but I also think it ties into our previous discussions around the acquisition of Warner Brothers by Netflix, and let me explain what I mean. So James Gunn, as he is wont to do every so often, chooses to intentionally engage via social media with fans. Fans ask him questions. James responds in response to a question about, hey, are we going to get an update on Batman Brave and the Bold later this year? James Gunn said, and I'm paraphrasing here, when there's time for an update, there will be an update. When there's an actual script that he's really excited about. But, and this is a direct quote, James said, I wouldn't want to cloud the Batsphere until after that. After that, meaning Batman 2. Batman 2 being the Batman movie that's coming out in 2027.
So it's going to be a bit...
James is not in any hurry. So how does that apply to the Warner Brothers Netflix acquisition? This is not a man who sounds terribly concerned about his future employment. So he knows, because he's been in the business long enough, as long as he keeps making good movies that make his employers lots of money, he's going to be just fine. That's what Talks always has, always will be. And the other element that I appreciate about it, because how many times over the past years have we lamented the haste with which different movies and shows get produced? Maybe we're erring a bit on the side of the other extreme here, but in terms of lack of haste. However, in the meantime, we're certainly getting an opportunity for other DC characters to have their shine. Hello, Supergirl. Hello, Clayface in 2026, for example.
Well, I know we're getting only 3 projects, which when you have been dealing with Marvel as long as we have, seems like 3 is nothing. But when you think about it, Lanterns is just essentially a longer movie broken down into 6 episodes or whatever the episode count is. Supergirl is going to be a great summer flick, and then who knows with Clayface? That's just that one's out there. It still mind boggles me, but that's going to be your probably Halloween. That seems like an October movie to me. That's creepy enough.
Yep.
So, yeah. But, I mean, I'm cool with it because the quality's going to be there, at least for Supergirl and for Lanterns.
Right, that's what matters. Whenever it gets released, whatever the entity is, if it's quality, great. We'll watch it. Like we talked about in 2025 with Thunderbolts. Boy, we didn't anticipate that being worthwhile, but it was outstanding because they took their time. They put together a great movie with great character development. That's all we want here. One other thing I just thought of, Mr. Miracle,
Yeah,
the
I forgot
animated series.
as well. I saw that.
Yep, that is likely a 2026 release. That again, our guy Tom King here, who penned the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic or graphic novel, rather, that the Supergirl movie is drawing heavily from in an inspiration. Looks like this Mr. Miracle show is drawing directly from Tom King's Mr. Miracle graphic novel.
I figured you were very excited at that announcement.
I am.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. It makes all the sense in the world to me that James Gunn is going, oh yeah, that one, because think Creature Commandos. That's totally the vibe you're going to get out of this particular. It's going to feel very familiar.
Well, there's not a lot of Mr. Miracle titles where you're like, I wonder which one he's going to draw from. No offense to Mr. Miracle.
Nope.
He's just not at the forefront.
No, he's not a leading man in the comics. He's present. He's a guy.
He's here.
Yep, he's there.
I feel like Big Barda gets more reps than he does.
Truly. Yep, and she's
that's
phenomenal in the comic as well.
And that's just because she's a tank.
Yeah.
So
legitimately so. So anyway, I thought it was worthwhile to bring up that little James Gunn nugget. And all I can say is, dude, keep taking your time. I have no idea what in the world we're going to get with Clayface later this year. So there's going to be, I got to believe, some, if not flat out misses, some, okay, maybe not more of that. You know what I mean? Like, all right, some people really loved it, but it's not a, hey, let's go back to that well multiple times.
Well, it's funny because when he's like, I don't really want to cloud the sphere with Batman.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but you have to have some form of Batman in the Clayface movie. It has to happen. It's weird if he's not. It's just like the Joker movie. I didn't see either one of them. Do you know why? No Batman. I do not care about the Joker in the standalone. Joker doesn't need an origin. We can go down that rabbit hole another day. But you have to have Batman in here.
It totally, like, I think this Clayface movie is going to appeal vastly more to the people that actually don't watch the rest. You know what I mean? Of this kind of content, like the DC and Marvel content, which is okay, right? Not everything needs to appeal to us. Not everything does.
We have a podcast. It has to appeal to us.
You let James know the next time he's on social media.
James, it has to appeal us. We are your main audience, just us two.
Yeah, it just does not feel like a direct connectivity, but so much time between now and then. We'll see. Okay, moving on. Hey, real quick. All right, did you watch the College Football National Championship game?
I didn't, but I heard it was good.
Wow. Great game in and of itself. But I have to say, it is surreal to me that the Indiana freaking flipping Hoosiers Hoosier Daddy are national champions, just completed one of the best seasons of all time by going 16-0. Last team to win 16 games and lose none in the same season happened in 1894, and it was either Yale or Harvard, one of the Ivy League
nerds
schools. So truly just in a different universe at that point, okay? I cannot emphasize to you how hard it was for me to actually comprehend what was legitimately being presented to my face. No falsification. I've seen football games on ESPN before. I've listened to Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. They were commenting on the game. It was real. And when it concluded, I'm seeing the graphic, Indiana Hoosiers national champions. I'm going, wow, there's a real part of me that can't believe it. But it's real. It's very real. And it's been a lot of fun in the last day or two reading others, those whose profession it is to be a sports writer, put out similar sentiment in their response to the game. Now, why, you may ask, why on earth would we bring up Indiana flipping football in the midst of a media podcast as it pertains to comics and comic book movies. Here's why. We're about to talk about the Avengers movie, and I kid you not, the experience that I and most of us had watching that Avengers movie is akin to what we just saw and experienced with Indiana football. This movie had never happened before, and it was very, very difficult to imagine it ever happening, and yet there it is, there it was, and here we are getting to talk about it. So there's the full circle, Hoosiers to Avengers. Let's dive in, shall we?
Do it.
Great.
Let's go.
All right. So the Avengers set the table here. Came out May 4th, 2012. Okay. Following, by way of quick recap, Iron Man in 2008, Iron Man 2 in 2010, Thor in 2011, Captain America, the First Avenger in 2011. And then we ramp right up to the Avengers. Okay. Obviously, in those movies, we had been introduced to the characters of Black Widow and Hawkeye, a little bit of Nick Fury sprinkled in there. Agent Coulson, love Phil, love ourselves some Phil Coulson. And then it was time for the Avengers movie, an actual superhero team up. There have been plenty of superhero movies. Every movie that I just mentioned, though, followed the same basic formula. A hero. The one exception you could say would be, okay, the X-Men movies, the Fantastic Four movies, and those were mixed bags in terms of how well they were made, how well they were received, but at least they were, you had several characters. It wasn't 6, 7 X-Men. It's like, we're still focused mostly on Wolverine, a little bit of Cyclops, Storm. That was where we maxed out, okay? This was a whole new ambition, and it flippin' worked. Now, one of my favorite things to do whenever we recap these movies, what are some other movies that came out in 2012, you may ask? How about a little film called The Dark Knight Rises? Ever heard of it? Okay. That was also a 2012 movie. The Hunger Games, first movie of that series, came out in 2012.
Jeez, that was that?
Really good movie, by the way. Really good. Skyfall, one of the best James Bond movies. Best one, I think, that I've seen. At least my personal favorite. The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. The first Hobbit movie came out in 2012. The Amazing Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield. Love you, bro. Yep, love him. Let's see, Lincoln. Love that movie. Still can't believe that they found a guy that looked exactly like Abraham Lincoln. That's wild. 21 Jump Street.
Classic.
Oh my gosh, so good. Zero Dark 30. I really enjoyed that one. Really a lot of good movies in 2012. Those are some of the highlights. Oh, Looper. Got to give that one a little shout out. Great little flick. But The Dark Knight Rises, right? That Dark Knight trilogy is concluding just as the Avengers is ascending. And as a matter of fact, the Avengers beat out The Dark Knight Rises in terms of overall gross, making absurd amounts of monies.
So the movie
banged. It was great. Riles, tell me what you remember about seeing it for the first time.
This was the first interactive movie of ever for me, in the sense of I remember I was like 13, 14. Isn't that crazy? Sitting in the theater with my buddy.
Yeah.
Who's like, dude, we got to go. I was like, all right. And I remember when they did now that you look back, you're like, okay, this is kind of cheesy that they had to come in a circle and pose. But if that's the first time you see it after watching all of phase 1, you lose your shit. The whole theater was like, yeah. And so that was a rally moment for everybody.
It was amazing.
And the Hulk, both of his hard hits on Thor and then Loki also got major laughs. But that was, for me as
just
a kid,
the audience interaction.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I never got to experience a midnight release.
Yep.
Like,
that's okay.
For the
it's
people,
better that we're away from those years.
But for the people that were after our time, midnight release movies was like a huge deal.
Correct.
Like, you wanted to be there to be the first ones to see it. And now midnight release is a day before at 7 p.m. on a Thursday. And it's just like,
not the same thing.
It doesn't hit as hard. You're not waiting in line. And so I never had that experience.
It's like NFL games in Europe. It's like, is this real?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to be this might not have been a great example either, but I'm sure Star Wars Episode 1 would have been the same kind of feeling with all the Star Wars fans finally getting to come back to the theater. Because I kind of got that with Episode 7 as well. But
similar.
So, no, from that standpoint, this brought me back to the theater, which is hilarious. So it was, in that regard.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that word interactive, and that's such an appropriate word for what that experience was and what it was like. It was such a fresh, and I think where this is so great is the movie, upon further review, ages gloriously. Like, it wasn't just a novelty of, oh, this is the first time we're seeing a movie with this many characters of significance being balanced and handled really well with a worthwhile villain that they're all battling against. I mean, you brought up Star Wars. It felt more so in a lot of ways like it shared a similar spirit with the best of Star Wars, where you have a singular primary villain, Loki, as opposed to Darth Vader, and you've got all these characters with different, like distinctly different voices and personalities and quirks, strengths, and weaknesses that they're bringing to the group, and it worked to great effect. And something that I appreciate so much about this movie and movies that are crafted with care, it looks so dang good. And there's obviously just buckets of CG in here, right? Like every Chitauri, character, ship, craft, like that is CG, if not 100%, really darn close to it. The helicarrier, sorry, those aren't real. That'd be amazing, but they're not.
As far as we know.
As far as true, as far as we know. And yet there's not a single shot in this movie where you're going, squinting a little bit, cringing, going, that's a little rough. I mean, Bruce Banner transforming into the Hulk. Think of how relatively rough it looked with the Incredible Hulk movie. Actually, I forgot about that in my little recap there. Sorry, Incredible Hulk. You also came out in 2008. Hopefully Edward Norton's not listening. It didn't look that great just in 2008. It was okay. But something that stuck out to me is how often in that movie they had to keep the Hulk in the dark, right? The Hulk is in the light here, man, and it looks incredible. It's the same satisfying sensation, for lack of a better word, watching the Hulk transform as it is watching Optimus Prime transform in the Transformers movies. Those are really comparable for me. It's like, that just looks so cool. So cool.
I don't know if I can get it into Optimus levels, but...
Are you Optimus?
Oh.
By head and shoulders? That's fine.
I think
That's
so.
fine. That's fine.
Optimus and then Bumblebee.
Just
a Transformer in general is so satisfying. Yes.
So I'm just saying they're related. They're related. Okay? Not coming at your boy Optimus.
All right.
Not coming at your boy Optimus.
No, I get it. It's okay.
Yep. The just depth of understanding that the filmmakers had of each character, for Bruce Banner to cut loose with the iconic line that again holds up. That's my secret. I'm always angry. It's like, what? That is a mind-melting concept, both in that moment and even on reflection. You're going, oh yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. It's not just a cutesy little hook. That plays really well. So it's hard to overstate how glorious the first experience was watching this movie with so many others that were so enthusiastic, and having that shared experience like that. That's what's just euphoric about going to a sporting event, right? When the home team is crushing it. It's just this very unique dynamic that only happens in shared experiences, and that's what this was. So love that Avengers movie. Oh,
it's fantastic.
So good. Okay, our guy Joss Whedon directed this one, and if you're wondering why haven't we heard of him for a while, well, do a little Google. You'll see why. Joss, as it turns out, sadly, not a great person. Great filmmaker, very gifted writer, can really pump out the dialogue in a way that really was fitting for the MCU, but unfortunately was just a turd burglar
allegedly
of a human being. Yeah. I'm going to say there's enough smoke to that fire across enough, enough individuals that Joss has probably earned the exile that he's experiencing. So we won't spend too much time on dear sweet Joss. But the only reason I really bring him up, other than the free dunking opportunity, is something that I remember being a through line of the response to this movie for the first, not just weeks, but even years, was, oh, what a job Joss Whedon did. Turns out there's more than just Joss Whedon that can make a tremendous Marvel movie. I think he deserves a lot of credit for being the first to do it the best in terms of the blend of character development, humor. Like, he found a really good balance of humor and gravity. It felt like a very balanced movie in that regard. So he did it the best first, but so he deserves some credit for helping to establish that paradigm. But from there, the rest of the MCU directors really took it and ran with it.
Yeah,
So that narrative, my point is that narrative did not actually hold up. It wasn't Joss Whedon. It was, no, Joss found the right paradigm, but there's others that can come in. There's a range of ways to get there. Hi, James Gunn. Hi, Russo brothers, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, watching this, it does really feel like the characters are themselves,
Yep.
which that can sometimes get lost in translation.
totally.
And I felt like I was picking up right where Captain America left off. I felt like I was
very
picking
much
up
so. Very
right
much
where
so.
Iron Man left off.
Yep.
Even with Bruce Banner being a different Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
You're still picking up where he left
Yep.
off.
Yep.
So these guys feel like themselves.
Totally.
And they deserve to be on the screen.
Yep.
And to have
Loki, even, right? Loki, Thor.
Loki and Thor.
Right.
We're both like, we're picking up where we left off.
Yep.
Their two conversation when they finally meet each other again after the events of
Yeah.
Thor 1. Like, Thor still wants to be a good brother through all of that,
Right.
even after the betrayal.
Yep.
So to watch all of those combine and clash, but not like in a bad way, is actually really impressive to be able
Yep.
to balance that all together,
Yep.
because we've seen moving forward that's not always the case.
Correct.
And I think even in comics, you can make the argument that from one writer to another writer,
Mhm.
you can be like, oh, that's
It's a
not
challenge.
Spider-Man to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So to have it in this sense where it's even shorter terms and you got to make sure that it makes sense.
Yep.
Like, we even saw it from Star Wars, episode 7 to episode 8 to episode 9.
Correct.
Feels completely different. And
Yep.
those were stories that were supposed to connect all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And just 3 movies at that.
correct. And they did this with
The same
4,
characters
5?
in every movie, as opposed to different movies highlighting different characters and not including others.
Right.
Yeah, the payoff is tremendous.
And all the characters play perfectly together in that sense as well. Iron Man and Bruce are hilarious together.
Yep.
Iron Man and Cap is probably one of the best rivalries in Marvel.
Yep.
That is a healthy rivalry.
Yep.
Where they challenge each other to do better.
Mhm.
I mean, you watch those two bicker at each other, and then they go help each other right afterwards.
Yep.
So, yes, that part, that whole movie does a really good job of bringing everybody together, and instead of being a crap sandwich, it is it is a full course meal that works out together.
It'd be so easy for the movie to get messy. And I think what I tend to forget is how critical Loki is to this movie. Like, he has to work. Every great superhero movie, here's the common thread. Like, truly, if you want to boil it down, oversimplify it to one common denominator, it's you have to have a great villain. And Loki is a tremendous villain in this movie. They do a great job. This is crucial as well, of not just telling us that he's formidable, but showing us that he's formidable. He's able to go physically toe-to-toe with all of the other characters, with all of the Avengers, until Hulk, obviously, a little bit later. But he's also incredibly clever and manipulative. He is several steps ahead of his opposition on a regular basis. So he's very difficult to beat. He's very formidable. and he's just bad, right? Like he's just there to he wants to be in charge. It's not really that complicated. He just wants to be number one.
Well, and to top that off too, he gets a moment with each of the main Avengers roster, right? His conversation with Black Widow, where she eventually manipulates him into getting to overplay his hand because he's overconfident. You have the moment where Hawkeye finally switches back to the good side, which we can talk about mind control later. But the arrow straight to the face, blowing him up. I know it wasn't a huge fight interaction, but that interaction alone is that's a win for Hawkeye.
Right.
Cap and Loki going back and forth in Germany, which, by the way, beautiful callback for Captain America.
Right.
Didn't even think about that until watching this through all the way again.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's like his first like big appearance in the public is he's going back to the country he was trying to beat. And now, on top of that, protecting that country that he was trying to beat.
It's a great point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed how, yes, each Avenger had their interactions with Loki, and it felt normal, and their one-on-one interactions didn't feel forced.
Yeah. Well, and it is so critical, perhaps not as much to each of the Avengers as much as it is to Loki. Because how can you establish the math doesn't math, right? You've got several Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain America, Thor. So you got 6 against the 1. The basic math goes, come on, guys. Shouldn't you be able to take the one dude down? But what's so critical about each of those individual interactions is it shows to, or it serves to demonstrate just how tough Loki is, how much of a match and even beyond a match he is to each of these characters on an individual basis. And so without that, you get to that end battle and the tension is just dissipated because you're going, come on, we know they're going to beat this guy.
Well,
we know it's just a foregone conclusion, but it's not. And those build-up scenes have everything to do with that.
But he is also formidable, not in like the Thanos way where you're like, oh, he's going to tear him apart.
Yes.
Loki is more on the intellectual sense of
very much so.
Just a weasel.
Yep.
That dude is a weasel. You want to
a
see
really
him get
weasel.
Smoked. You just do. It is so satisfying to watch him get taken out by the Hulk, and that. By the way, that's the last fight Loki has is getting annihilated by the Hulk in 30 seconds, not even, and it was just done, and you're like, oh, he's out. So once you pin him down, not as difficult as you think.
Totally.
But also Loki's not one of those guys that's going to just go down swinging. He's like, nope, I'm good.
Yep.
You got me.
Yeah.
Cuff me. It's over.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm so glad we got this movie. To me, it's the most impactful movie by far of the entire year of 2012. Like we just listed off a lot of great movies, but no movie had the impact and long-lasting, not just enduring in and of itself, but what it presented moving forward. That synergy was so doggone unique, right? We were used to, in the same way that Christopher Nolan's Batman movies kind of leveled up and allowed superhero movies to mature as in, hey, you can take yourself seriously, not like from a gravity standpoint, but just in terms of telling a story like, get your poop in a group. Let's be tight here. Let's be really cohesive. The Avengers movie had a similar impact in a different way of, hey, you can expand the roster that you're presenting and you can do it well. This doesn't have to be goofy, doesn't have to be campy. It can be fun, but it can be executed at such a high level.
Well, I think it was executed so well. I don't think Marvel's done it as good as this since. To be quite honest with you, that might be a hot take. I don't think it is. When it comes to the sense of that synergy that you're talking about, where each one kind of it's the connections are never forced in these movies. They are loosely building the world throughout these movies, and you know what? It kind of makes sense that Loki's the bad guy here.
Totally.
Right? He has the full grudge against Earth after Thor falls through space, happens to land in Thanos' lap. We don't know that part until, the very, very end with the teaser trailer or with the whatever. I just look at this movie because even as a standalone,
Yeah.
this movie's fantastic.
Right.
To me, you don't have to go watch those other movies.
I'm just gonna say the same
watch
thing.
Avengers.
Just gonna say the same thing.
It, but it pays off in the sense of if you do,
Yeah, it enhances the experience.
correct,
But it's not necessary.
no, because you understand where each character's coming from.
Yep.
It makes sense,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, like I understand why Cap is the way that he is. I
Right.
also understand why Iron Man is the way that he is, and I understand why they don't like each other all the time.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. So
It does such a good job of creating, and again, organically, because of the dynamic between person to person, just the tension and the conflict that is present. And that's such a relatable dynamic, right? Like, obviously, we're watching a movie about fictional, superhuman characters, but all of us can relate to the challenge of connecting with, excuse me, and working well with others just in our daily lives, right? Like, good relationships are hard. They are earned with time, with a willingness to forgive and just really live with the person's quirks that you're around, and recognizing that, you know what, you're not perfect either. You have plenty of quirks of your own that you're bringing to the table. And so you see it. That's what's played out so beautifully here is, and that's how we're able to relate to this movie in such a tangible way, even though none of us are Thor, none of us are Captain America, but we can all relate to whoever it is that you resonate with most, right? Whether it's Tony Stark or Steve Rogers going, oh gosh, yep, that's under my skin too, buddy. I get it. Right? I mean, it's that's the magic. That's what serves it so well, is that character. To your point, each character is known and presented so well, not twisted or misrepresented. They are just captured so accurately in this movie. It's great. Any other highlights from that movie that you wanted to hit on in particular?
not off the top of my head.
Any beefs from the movie? Any moments where you're going, yeah, what are we doing there?
I will go back to the Hulk podcast when I said that, Edward Norton is the better Bruce Banner.
Yep.
I kind of shat on Mark Ruffalo a little bit.
You gave Mark a hard time. It's okay.
And I shouldn't say I gave him shit, but I was like,
You just
I
expressed a
prefer
preference.
Norton. I will still say that I prefer Norton.
Fair.
However, in this movie specifically, Ruffalo does fantastic. Yeah. It's just, again, it's a different take on the Hulk entirely.
Sure.
So I will say, I'll build off of my previous, because I am rewatching this again because I haven't seen these movies in forever. So to have that again, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. Because I also remember the Hulk moving around like a gorilla more than anything, and yet he kind of does. Yeah. Right? He has the gorilla movements, but it's not as bad as I remembered it the first time.
Sure.
So you kind of get over it. But
that's great. And I think you presented that well during the Hulk podcast, that it wasn't hey, Mark Ruffalo sucks. It's my personal preference would have been to see the Edward Norton version of Bruce Banner rather than the more passive, kind of apologetic Ruffalo take.
Yeah. And the only other thing I would say, beef-wise, if it's even a beef, Hawkeye gets done real dirty in this movie. Mm-hmm. Getting the mind control right off the bat.
Tough.
And then spending time with Loki more than anybody else. Him and Nat's relationship is phenomenal in this movie. And the other thing you have to think about, too, is we at least did get some time with Black Widow at one point in a different movie.
Yep.
Yes, we did get Clinton Barton in Thor for 2 minutes.
Yeah, real briefly.
But
very much in passing.
Doesn't count. And I wish, going back, they would have had Hawkeye paired up with somebody else.
Sure.
Right? If it would have been, and that's where it's like, where do you fit him in?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because Black Widow was with Iron Man, and that's technically, out of all the Avengers, the only one that makes semi-sense.
Yep.
Actually, any sense at all for him to be in that movie. So I
could see a Clint Barton, Steve Rogers pair up. I could see that.
But with the story that they told, can't really have Hawkeye traveling through time either.
No, so, it would have to come after this movie. Totally.
Correct. And I think that's the only one out of this whole thing that kind of gets done dirty, because his scenes are great, and whenever he fights, Hawkeye can
Holds
throw
up.
down.
Yep.
He holds up. He
Yep.
holds down well.
Yep.
The bow moves are sick. Love his quiver. Just reloading his own
Isn't that a
bolts
fun?
onto
That's
it.
a great bit.
Sick.
Yeah.
So, and just the way that they have him in the perch,
Mhm.
calling out shots,
Mm-hmm.
it does Hawkeye justice
Yeah.
in that sense because it's like, oh, he's just a dude with a boat. No, he's kind of the one that's
It's extraordinarily skilled.
being the strategic
Yep.
eyes in the sky
Yeah.
portion. So for me, that would be my biggest issue with this movie. And also, between you and me, I am so tired of mind control and body swaps. Let's just stay away from that. I understand, especially with mind control, but for this movie,
Give me another example that's in your mind when you say that, because I'm not disagreeing with your
Well,
take.
I
I'm
watched-
just wondering what's adding to the pile for you.
I might be biased
That's okay.
right now
All right,
because
that's
I'm
fine.
coming off of Transformers 5 with Soul, and watching that,
Mhm.
they're just like, yeah, you know what would be really fun if Optimus was the bad guy in this movie. So they're like, mind control. And here's the best part of this.
Whoops.
He is only he's, for whatever reason, Transformers 5 takes Optimus Prime off the board for about 2/3 of the movie. He's actually not even there. He leaves at the end of 4, goes off into space to go throw down with the people who
Unforgivable.
made him.
Yep.
And then the people who made him are like, we made you, now you're going to work for us. And then it's literally a slow crawl of them coming back to Earth.
Yep.
He fights Bumblebee for 10 minutes. And then Bumblebee's like, hey,
Dude, wake up.
with his real voice. He goes,
Yep.
hey. He's like, you haven't spoken like that in 30 years or something like that. And you're like, oh, okay. And it's just like, that's it?
Yep.
That was the whole mind control thing? So, I don't know. It's
That's
just
fair. That's fair. I understand where you're coming from.
And maybe it's just because it's Hawkeye and it's such a bigger player where it's like Selvig being mind controlled.
Sure.
I'm like, you know what?
Sure.
This is very essential to the plot. And it's also
totally
cool,
a plot device.
Well, right.
Totally.
But it's also cool that in the back of his head, even under mind control, he's like, pretty sure I built in a self-destruct
Yeah, kind of a back door
code
here. Yeah.
that we can use to stop this thing.
Yeah.
Which I was like, cool.
Right.
So he's not like
It's
fully
not
powerless.
just a black and white, oh, I'm sorry, that just worked forever.
But you're like,
Yep.
Hawkeye can't hold back at all against Black Widow.
Sure.
Like, you feel like
Sure.
during that fight, before her just smoking his head on a metal bar, that he would
Heck
be
of a
able
way
to
to jolt
be
you
like,
out of the problem.
oh, right.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. And again, that's me,
That's fine.
maybe.
That's fine.
I just would. It is what it is.
Hey, that's okay. Yeah, this is making me really wish we actually had a Hawkeye and Cap team up. That'd be a lot of fun. One of my favorite elements of the movie, a couple things that I wanted to call out, is when the Avengers team up and collaborate during the battle is so much fun. Like Iron Man blasting Cap's shield and having it reflect.
Oh, by the way,
that is just so fun.
totally ridiculous that
So
they're able to
fun.
just pick that up on the fly.
Correct.
They were alley-ooping
Correct.
each other like they were.
Like they've been practicing all off season.
Well, like they
but
were
no, it's the first game.
It was literally the
Oh,
Team
yeah.
USA, the Dream
Yes.
Team. It was the
Yes.
Dream Team. They're like, oh, we're going to play together for the first time ever. Here, oop it, bang,
Hey,
dunk.
when you're that skilled, when you're that talented,
It was Magic Johnson
great. it
to
was great.
Shaq.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
know they weren't on the Dream Team
That's
together,
okay.
but
The point still stands.
you understand.
Yeah, it was so satisfying to watch. Like that was just an absolute flippin' treat. And then, good Lord, the Hulk is so good, so satisfying to watch throughout this movie. It's glorious. And my beef is that it is such a shame that was 2012. This is 2026, and we've had so little of Hulk smashing. That's my beef. It's not with this movie. It's just with, come on, let's not get cute with it. Let the big dog eat.
And that was the best part of the Hulk movie was the fight with Abomination.
Exactly.
And now you get the callback, and now instead of just Abomination, he gets it's the Hulk's heyday. That dude gets to just bring down a crap ton of monsters.
And it doesn't turn into an automatic win for the Avengers. So, lesson learned here, you don't need to not show or not allow the heroes to cook. Let them cook. If you need to make it possible for the bad guys to win, just make the bad guy stronger. It's like, well, we're just going to throw more Chitauri at him than he can handle. Turns out that's pretty effective. The Superman movie, for example, from this past summer, listen, they didn't necessarily power down Superman. They just made his adversaries really dang tough, right? It's the same thing with the Hulk. It's like you don't need to not use the Hulk. You don't need to hide the Hulk. Let him cut loose, and it doesn't turn into an automatic win. It doesn't need to. It's just such like this lazy intellectual, wow, as soon as he's there, they win. No, they don't. Just put somebody else or somebody's else on the playing field that can match or exceed his strength.
Well,
Whoever the character is, whoever they are.
And
it
it's
just
not,
doesn't need to be a cheat code.
Well, when you think about it too, it wasn't even a difficulty level for the most part. It was a
quantity.
It was a numbers game.
Quantity.
It was 100%
Yes,
a numbers
you can
game.
do that.
And
Totally.
you're like, oh, okay. So they're going to just see who gets worn down first.
Yeah. Even after he smashes Loki, that doesn't turn the tide of the battle. The battle is still very much not going their way. It's not going to end well. So, and then someone conveniently fires a nuke. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that worked this time. By the way, can we just talk about how outrageous that is? You want to talk about beefs that I have in movies? I'm so done with freaking nukes.
That's fair.
In movies.
Well, because it's
Dark
just,
Knight Rises, nuke. This movie, nuke. Both in 2012. The freaking Mission Impossible movie that happened this past summer, I'm sorry, nukes all over the world. Good grief. The world doesn't have to actually end every time. Not every time.
It's kind of just a cop-out when you think about it.
Totally.
Because it's like, what can we do that's going to just be the big, like, scary thing that could happen? Nuke them. And the fact that they're, like, so bold to nuke not only just a place, New York City. You're going to nuke New York City. Gnarly.
And I'm not saying it's not believable. It's just not very enjoyable. It's old. Everyone is freaking using a nuke in these movies. The whole world doesn't have to be at stake every single time. The stakes that matter that matter the most are the character level stakes. That's what matters. That's what matters. There are things worse than getting nuked. Truly. Like you nuked, okay, you're toast. Your problems are done. Create conflict. Don't eliminate it always with a, oops, nuked. That's not interesting.
If you even think about it too, you know how stupid those guys are in the sense of like,
Yes.
Fury could have been easily like, hey, there's a portal. We just got to close down the portal. And then be like, oh, let me send you all the tanks that we have in the area. We'll just point the tank up and we'll just keep shooting at the hole.
Shoot all the missiles through the portals, guys. Yeah, there's one portal, one big hole.
Or, shoot the nuke straight up into it. And then, you don't have to risk one of the world's greatest heroes, Iron Man. It's life.
Or the millions of people in the city.
Yeah, it just
silly. It's just silly. So there you go. There's
it just goes
my
to
one
show
beef.
you that not everyone in power is actually smart enough to be in power.
There is no doubt. There is no doubt.
And that is just a general for everything everywhere. So,
yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we have this movie again. My last thing that I'll say on this front as we transition into looking ahead to 2026 is I'm going to bring it back to Indiana football. It's great when we can't anticipate what comes next, right? It's great to be surprised. It's great to have our expectations subverted and exceeded. And that's where I am as we head into this next year from an entertainment perspective is there are plenty of unknowns out there. And frankly, I think it's great. Let's see what comes of it. Is it all going to work? Of course not. It never all works. But we're going to have, I think we're on the threshold of a fun turning of the corner in terms of what we're getting with Marvel, what we're getting with DC. I think we're getting a clear leveling up where we're going to really benefit from what a movie like this made possible, which is these big superhero team-ups with so many characters that we never thought we'd see on the big screen. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it set a precedent because after that we had more team superhero movies. Good and bad.
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy was the next one for Marvel after this. And, I mean, just wait till we talk about that movie. Wow.
Truth.
So, I'm excited.
DC did a great job with Justice League.
Right. And that's...
Joss Whedon was there.
And that's an example of it going wrong. But... And that's the difference, too, of Marvel took the time to build. And if you take the time to build and put the characters in the right spots. Think about this. If we would have Black Widow or Hawkeye show up in their own solo movies before Avengers
Oh my.
1,
Yeah.
that would not have gone over very well.
Yep.
Maybe if you put them together, but I think the way Black Widow thrived the most was because she was in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
And I look back,
Totally.
and I don't think Hawkeye showed up again until Avengers 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So, again,
He was only in Avengers movies.
Yeah, you did Hawkeye dirty.
Yep.
In that sense. Why did you not throw him in a couple other things?
Well, I mean, if you want to count Civil War, but it's an Avengers movie
But,
with a Captain America
that's
name.
Captain. That is Avengers 2.5.
Correct.
That's what that is.
Correct.
So it's just you see the wins and losses as they continue doing this because they found a formula that worked. And again, I don't know if I think they perfected the formula on the first try.
Yep.
And I think they deviated too much moving forward. And you had your hits and misses. And obviously not everything can be perfect. So
right.
I'm nitpicking probably. But it is like this is essentially
They got themselves at least within a range, right? How close did they get to the peak? Just depended movie to movie. But
right.
they did not have, in my opinion, clear misses. It was just that wasn't as good. But it was still good. Still entertaining. So and that's storytelling, right? That's any kind of creative process. Like I remember having this thought long time ago as a kid growing up where I would listen to some of my favorite albums and I would just, skip between what I thought were my favorite songs. I'm like, why don't they just make bangers with every song? It's an album of 12 songs and 3 of them are awesome. What's with these other 9? It's like, well, that's just part of the creative process. You're not going to have banger after banger after banger every time, all the time. But when you understand and stay within some pretty healthy boundaries of what does and what does not make some good quality art, you're at least going to fall within a broader range of quality where it's well made, it's well presented. How well does it respond or resonate with others? That's the part that you can't really control from a creative perspective. But this was one of those really unique times, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that it's unique. It's like that was as good as it could get there.
And the busts just make you appreciate the bangs even more.
That's correct.
So
love it. All right, great things. If you haven't rewatched Avengers in a while, do yourself a favor. Get into it. It's phenomenal. Well worth the rewatch. Let's get in to another classic JP and the Beans Top 5. Today's Top 5. We are going to list off for you the shows and or movies that we are looking forward to the most in 2026. Without further ado, Beans, you go first.
We're going to start this off with a bang.
Let's do it.
I've got the Punisher special coming in at number 5.
Very nice.
Look, we are getting a lot of Frank Castle, and last year and this year, and I am all for it. Johnny Boy gets to tear it up as Frank Castle, and I'll tell you what, I would watch John Bernthal as Punisher forever if I could. Totally. I can't wait to see him shoot up a bunch of people, take out some gangs. I'll be curious to see how long this special is, but to be honest with you, I hope it's 2 hours long at least. I hope this is a movie. I really do, because I just want to sit there and watch him kill a bunch of gangs and throughout New York. So I know this is relatively coming out around the same time as Spider-Man, which, by the way, Punisher gets to be in Spider-Man. Crazy.
I think Punisher also gets to be in Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2.
Does he? Because I've heard
a lot of Punisher in 2026, hopefully.
So, I can't wait. I cannot wait, because guess what? When he comes back in Born Again and starts teaming up with Daredevil again. In the apartment? Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Correct.
So, Punisher special is my number 5.
I love that. What a great pull for number 5. My number 5 is The Lanterns show. All we know as far as its release dates, it's coming out sometime in late summer, so let's guess August. I love the Green Lantern Corps. Jeff Johns' run back in, let's see, would have been maybe, when did he jump on and kind of revive Hal Jordan? Like 2008-ish, 2010, somewhere in that neck of the woods. But he had just a great run with the Corps during the original DC continuity and then into the New 52. But he did some great things with Hal, with our guy John Stewart. I am pumped to see this show because I think it's going to be such a great representation of the core. Obviously, I'm still nervous on how old they're making our guy Hal. But in terms of anticipation, what I'm looking forward to, we haven't had good Green Lantern in any live action representation. So that gets me pretty psyched. Lanterns, my number 5. My number 4, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Love me some Tom Holland. I'm very excited that we get to continue his story. Where I'm a little hesitant is, so we're bringing the Hulk in here? Okay. We're bringing the Punisher? Okay. I'm not sure how all of the parts are going to coalesce, but I love that Tom Holland is still here cooking as Spider-Man. I love that we have reset his character in a certain sense, right? Coming off of the original trilogy. And so I'm very excited to pick up from where we've left off with our guy, Tom. So Spider-Man Brand New Day, my personal number 4.
My number 4 is Avengers Doomsday, sitting at 4. And it's at 4. Technically, this should be 1. Like, in all theory, it should be 1. I am very skeptical, and it has nothing to do with the Russo brothers. I trust the Russo brothers. That's why I have faith in this movie.
Yep.
I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
No idea. Doom, okay, great. It's still RDJ as Doom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a lot of question marks that I don't like. But I am still excited for this movie. I'm going to be right there with everyone else watching it. And I think it will be good. I trust that it will be good. I just don't know where to be on it.
Yep.
So that's
Totally
going to sit at my number 4.
Totally get it.
Number 3.
Your number 3, sir.
Is Daredevil Born Again Season 2. That's where that's going to sit right there. Look, we left Matt off in a fantastic spot. We are about to go to war. All right? Season 1 had its lulls. We didn't get a lot of Daredevil in the Daredevil suit until towards the second half
third
of the
or
season.
so.
Yes,
Yep.
because he gave up the mantle. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Put it back on.
And you want to know why?
Get to
Because
work.
they are obsessed with that stupid black suit that covers half the face, that has nothing to do with Daredevil.
amazing.
If you want to make a ninja movie, go somewhere else. It's not Daredevil.
Tell us how you really
red.
feel. No, tell us how you really feel.
Him make other people bleed for the love of God. Okay. That's what he's good at. So
I think your wish is about to be granted.
He's going to go straight to war. I would like a little bit more church scenes again, like the original show, because this one, he wasn't really involved with the Catholic Church that much. And that's such an important part of his character. Yep. So I would like to have those scenes because, again, opening scene, Daredevil, the original Netflix opening scene, Father, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Oh, no. What are you about to do? And it's just...
Watch the news.
It hits hard. Sets the tone for the whole show. So, for all those reasons, I got Daredevil Season 2
at number 3.
Number 3 spot.
That's great. My number 3 is the Supergirl movie coming out on June 26th. Here's the reason why I'm anticipating and looking forward to this one more than some others. Is we haven't seen a live-action Supergirl movie since the 1980s. Well, you're right, TV show, but not in the movies. I adore the source material that they're drawing from. We get, of course, to see Jason Momoa as Jason Momoa, or maybe Lobo playing Jason Momoa. Kind of, it's an interesting question. I think it's going to be a terrific flick. And as a dad of sons and daughters, I am really eager to have an entry point into this world for my girls when they get old enough to enjoy this movie as well. And I think this movie is going to be just that.
JoJo might get too excited.
Oh, man, yeah. That's a really good point. Hadn't even thought of that. Okay, rip me. But anyway, Supergirl, June 26th. Super stoked. My number 2 is Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I'm psyched for all the reasons you just laid out. To me, the anticipation only mounts when you see the other folks that are coming back, right? Like getting Jessica Jones back in there, getting Luke Cage back in there, maybe a little Iron Fist, a little more Karen Page, please. Boy, I missed her character. in season 1.
It's so funny to go from all those superheroes and then be like, and then Karen Page.
I know. That's not a transition that really works at all. But she's such an important character to Matt. Get her in there. Let's go. They did Foggy dirty. That was mean.
I am hoping Kingpin gets some actual good villains.
Full-fledged Kingpin and full-fledged Bullseye. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's oof.
The shackles should be off. So, and again, little John Bernthal sprinkled in there with the little salt and pepper Punisher. It's going to be a delight. So when you see all those folks willing to come back, when they don't have to, they can do whatever they want to do, but they're saying, no, we would choose to come back and be a part of this. That tells me that there's a good feast ahead of us right there. So Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is my number 2. Your number 2, sir.
My number 2, and I can't believe this wasn't higher on your list. Okay. I've got the Lanterns at the 2 spot. Wow, good for you. I am concerned with an older Hal as well.
Yep.
I feel better about it after getting an old Guy Gardner. That helped me adjust a little bit.
Huh. Okay.
I think. And this is in my
No, I
head.
like what you're saying. I haven't thought of this at all, so pardon me. Continue.
I am so excited to get into the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Because this looks like it's going to be a lot more well-made than the one we got with Ryan.
Yep.
I love Ryan.
Yep.
That was not
his fault.
And it's not his fault. You're right. So to see them all, like to see the Green Lantern Corps and what that can look like in the DCU and making them a focal point, because let's be honest.
Yep.
DCEU, we had 0 Green Lantern.
Correct.
We did not have a Green Lantern period. It was like teased at points in time, but never showed up.
No.
How do you have a Justice League without a Green Lantern representing? Yep. And it doesn't have to be Hal. It could have been Hal. It could have been John. It could have been Guy. It wouldn't have been Guy. And it could have been Kyle. It wouldn't have been Kyle. It would have been John or Hal. But
there's options.
There are
options.
There are plenty of options. And even if you wanted to go up down the rabbit hole, there are 17 human Green Lanterns. It's insane.
Plenty.
So you could have done it, and you chose not to. So we're now here. I can't wait to see DC's space.
Yeah.
What they plan on doing with that. Does Brainiac get teased here? I don't know. The realm of possibilities endless here.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see how they explore that, how the constructs look. So I'm more excited from the creative aspect of it.
Yep.
Where we're going with Green Lantern.
Yep. I love that.
So Lanterns is at number 2.
Great spot for it.
My number 1 is Wonder Man, because our boy Trevor is coming back, and I am so excited. Okay, that's not real. But can you imagine if we get to the end of 26 and Wonder Man is both number 1 for us? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would genuinely be more absurd. Yes, there you go. I was wondering, what's more absurd than Indiana winning a national championship in football? That's it. Wonder Man being the best thing that we see all of 2026. That's it. That would do it. Okay, we answered the question.
So, at least they're smart enough to release all the episodes at once. So, no, it's Spider-Man Brand New Day.
There you go.
Come on.
There
it's
you go.
Spider-Man.
Get your guy Spidey up there.
We have not had a bad Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Every time we've seen Tom Holland Spider-Man on screen, we've gotten a new villain. Yep. And with that, we are getting Scorpion in live action.
That's going to be fun, isn't it?
That is going to be
that's going to be so much fun.
Sick. I cannot wait to see how they do it. It's also been implied they're going to be doing like a montage like they did in Fantastic Four. So it sounds like we're going to be seeing some other villains as well. Awesome. Build up Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
Yep.
Make Scorpion the focus. Bring in some other guys. That's fantastic. Build this world. I can't wait to see how that plays. I'm hoping Kingpin has some impact on this story.
Absolutely.
We're in New York.
Absolutely.
We have the Punisher. I'm going to be very curious to see how that affects Spider-Man, if at all. If at all. Let's hope it does. Hulk, yes, that sucks. That's going to be a bit of a struggle because, again, we're going to turn the Hulk bad. So how are you going to do that? I don't know. I don't know what your catalyst is here. Yeah. I don't know how Scorpion's going to get his sweet armor because it's probably not going to be Jonah in this.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Nope.
As much as I am excited to see J. Jonah back, hopefully he comes back. I can't imagine that he wouldn't be here.
Yep.
I'm excited to see where Peter's at. Talk about the suit. We are getting. Yeah. We are finally, and again, this is not a knock at Tom, but we are getting Spider-Man finally. We've had the Spider-Man 3 series origin.
Yeah. like a
if you
version
will.
of Spider-Man, and it's
Yes.
like, ooh, we're getting down to the core, the
now,
roots.
now we're here.
Yep.
He's had his moment
Yep.
in time. His, what do they call that with Doctor Strange? The moment of
Clarity?
no,
Yeah,
it's in the What If series.
Mm.
It's the
Well, I'm not gonna be able to help you.
there's
I'm
a
sorry,
moment
bad friend
in the
here.
timeline that has to happen that they can't fix, and no matter what happens, it's
Oh,
gonna happen.
Crap.
It's like
Yeah.
a fixed time point. Anyways, whatever. I'll get roasted.
Sorry, I
later.
don't got it for you.
No, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't expect you to remember What If the animated series. So
Thank you.
yeah, for all those reasons though, we're getting Tom Holland back. Dude, Tom can play Spider-Man as long as he wants. I'm
that's
all
great.
for it. Is he my most favorite Spider-Man? No, but he's fantastic in
great.
the role.
He's been great.
He's great. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see him come on and
Well, and when a guy is willing to continue to, participate and bring his best to the role, it's like, let him cook.
when he
He's
doesn't
doing a great
need to,
job.
he could go retire on a hill and not say anything
Yeah,
to
he,
anyone
he
for the
can
rest of
he
his
can
life.
be done anytime he's ready to be, but
Can you
he continues
imagine?
to enjoy it.
My age, just bye. This is
Heck of a way to do it. Heck of a way to do it. That's a great number one, and I respect it. My number one is The Odyssey, coming out on July 17th. I am super stoked for this movie. My guy, Chris Nolan, love him, and I'm eager for him to bounce back from Tenet. So let's move on, Chris. I'm ready to believe again. It's going to be freaking long. It's going to be freaking beautiful. It's going to be tremendous. You mentioned Tom Holland. That's right. He's in this movie. The Punisher, John Bernthal, also in this movie. That's going to be pretty neat. I'm not going to pretend like I've read The Odyssey. I sure as heck haven't. I've read adaptations. But when Christopher Nolan is cranking out a movie that's somewhere between 3 and 4 hours long, you've got my attention, sir. So I am super eager for this movie. This is one of those, go see it in IMAX, go see it on the biggest flipping screen you can. So for me, it's going to be a really unique experience. I'm looking forward to it. And that's why for me, it lives as my number one.
I was sitting here. It's like, what could be his number one?
Yep.
And then you said the
Yep.
Odyssey. I'm like,
Yep.
I respect it.
Yep.
But not what I was thinking.
Here's the thing. Now, I'm going to just touch on this real quick. Doomsday is not on the list, and I'm not trying to dunk on Doomsday. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go see it. It's just, for me, on a personal level, not in the top 5 realm. I think there's too much at risk. And so there's a real part of me that goes, I may end up watching that movie and go, I'm going to have to pretend like this one doesn't exist.
There's a well, no, there is.
I hope that's not the outcome. I really do. But I'm going to go see it. I hope it works out really well. But I'm not eager in the same way as I am for these others. That
Well,
are in my top 5.
there's a lot of yellow flags there. I mean, the reason Supergirl wasn't on my list is because I am more excited to see Lobo than
Yeah.
anything, and
Yeah.
I don't feel like
Totally
Supergirl
get it.
deserves that
Totally get it.
from me.
Totally get it.
So, I am excited to see that movie. I think
Yeah.
that movie's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's the only one that didn't
That's
make
the
it on
beauty of
mine.
this podcast. It's our own personal preference. Few others, because I think this year is going to be a banger in the movie department. Real quick, in chronological order, How to Make a Killing. Okay. My guy Glenn Powell's in that one on February 20th. Looks like a lot of fun. The Breadwinner. Nate Bargatze.
Oh, I saw he's
Yep.
doing movies now. Yeah.
Yep. So color me interested. Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. Okay, same. It's based on a book written by the same dude who wrote The Martian. That film adaptation was terrific. I also read the book and understood some of it. The movie was definitely more of my flavor. But I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm really curious about The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't
I
feel
forgot
good
about
about
that
it.
movie.
Right, that comes out May 22nd. I'm curious.
Do you know where that one went wrong? Is when they had to put Grogu in the title.
Yep.
That's where it went.
There's a better chance that ends up not being good than good. But here's hoping. Here's a little bit of a dark pull for you. Okay, Normal coming out on April 17th. What the flip is that, you ask? It's Bob Odenkirk continuing to just enjoy his old man revival as the old dude that kicks butts and takes names. So this time as a small town sheriff. I'm there for you, Bob. I'm there for you. He's just been so good. He's so good. Clayface, I'm also intrigued by. September 11th. I don't think I'm going to go see it, but I'm curious.
That's one that
I'm curious.
I probably won't go see until I hear if Batman's in it or not.
Yeah.
If Batman's in it,
Yeah.
we'll be there.
Yep.
We will 100% be there.
Yep. And then last, in terms of chronological order, Dune Part 3, also on December 18th.
Jeez.
Wild that it's coming out the same weekend as Avengers Doomsday. That's a choice, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if it slides up a week, because do you really want to be there on the same weekend? Maybe you do. I don't know. So should be a fun year.
Well, does Avengers want to be on the same week as Dune?
Yeah, I don't know. Potato, potato. Who's to say? Anyway, lots to look forward to in 2026. Beans, anything else for the good people?
No, that is all she wrote.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
guys.
So
And
on
gals.
that note, Godspeed.
Peace.